Hello, YouTube. This is Patrick, and
Natalie.
we are back for part 2 of reacting to Decibel's top 40 albums of 2021. Left off at number 20, and I'm excited.
For sure.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm really excited to see what's next. So, let's begin. Alright. Trying to remember. Right, number 21 was Gate Creeper, An Unexpected Reality. And also an unexpected choice because it's an EP.
MLP.
MLP maybe. But okay.
LP.
Number 20 is try to cover up the rest of them too, actually. That'd be kinda cool. 20 is it's gonna be loud. Okay. Number 20 is Cannibal Corpse with Violence Unimagined. I've listened to this album a number of times this year.
I've listened to a little bit.
Yeah, you listened to a little bit. You want to listen to a song?
Sure.
Alright.
Creepy.
We just listened to Murderous Rampage off of Violence Unimagined. Cannibal Corpse, legends, they're legends. What'd you think of that song?
Slitting your throat. It's gruesome.
The lyrics are gruesome.
And it's interesting because it's not exactly my cup of tea. It's interesting because like I can listen to a band like Undeath that has just as like gross lyrics maybe. I kick and I kick and I kick. Turning his guts into bits.
Hurting guts.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe it's just the style makes it a little bit better for me. This is one of those I see why people like it a lot. I think it's like the kind of tongue in cheek, but
right. I think Corpse Grinder is a great death metal vocalist.
Yeah.
I think he's a good death metal vocalist.
It's not that it's bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's good, great death metal.
It definitely doesn't sound like it just sounds like thrashy death metal.
The song for 4 minutes was a little long,
yeah. So
felt longer.
Yeah, I've listened to this album 3, 4, 5 times because I kept wanting to like it more. And actually, every time I listen to it, I like it more.
I think I have to just listen to them more.
But
I'm kind of late to the party on it.
I still don't feel like I still don't. This album is not on my list, and I see why it's in other people's list.
It makes sense. It's kind of in the middle of the pack.
20 is pretty high though, but Cannibal Corpse, I think this is their
20 is literally in the middle.
Yeah, but out of 4,000 albums.
Sure.
They definitely didn't. They're not. There's no soft edges. They haven't softened or anything. That's pretty cool. A legend, death metal legend at number 20. Okay, number 19. Want to read it?
Worm.
Okay.
Foreverglade.
Number 19 is Worm with Foreverglade.
Do me. I like Worm.
Yeah, I love this album. It is. Where's my list that we're using it to cover up? Yeah, so I might not actually want to spoil my video for the 7 people who care. So yeah, Worm is high up on my list. Very high up. It's higher than number 19 in my top 40 albums of the year. Yeah.
I like it. $20 Spin is awesome.
$20 Spin is great. Great label. That's my favorite, or it's kind of tied for my favorite $20 Spin release of this year. Anybody listening to this who hasn't heard Worm, it's blackened death doom with good atmosphere, great riffs. They know when to kind of speed things up, and there's like shreddy type guitar solos, which isn't very common in death doom. Vocals go from low to high. Really awesome release. Yeah, Foreverglade. Number 19, cool. Number 18 is Unto Others with Strength. I've actually only listened to I think 2 songs from this album.
They used to be another band, right?
They used to be another band. Forgot who that was. Idle Hands.
Idle
It
Hands.
used to be Idle Hands. So I need a refresher.
Me too.
So we're gonna go listen to On to Others. Okay. So
Unto Others.
I feel like I'm not qualified to speak about this blending of genres, heavy metal, goth rock, whatever they're doing.
I had way higher hopes because of other YouTubers talking about this band being just around for a while and being great and getting better.
Mm.
And I don't know. We listened to When Will God's Work Be Done?
Yep.
And it's just like, if you like that, go listen to Depeche Mode.
And I would say, I'm saying like
I don't know, but then like, what's that? Heroin?
Heroin.
Totally different kind of
I like the opening riff.
guitar work. Cool.
That's what I can say. That's nice.
Yeah, not super impressed with the guy's vocals. They just seem a little all over the place from the little bit that we just heard.
Yeah. So if we're gonna follow
Not
our kind of, based on what we heard, will we want to check out this band more?
I feel like you might way more than I will.
Nope.
Okay, well then.
Nope. I'd rather listen to. I'll listen to Tribulation's new album.
And I will not.
Over this one. So okay.
Okay. Moving on. Unto Others. Not sure why that's 18.
Number 17.
Full of Hell.
Full of Hell. Full of Hell with Garden of Burning Apparitions.
Amazing.
I own this one. I
would have had this way higher on the list.
Yeah, so I have this higher up on my list. Top 40 albums of the year. I had the vinyl out because I anticipated that this one would probably be on the list. Yeah, Full of Hell. They are Dylan, the vocalist of Full of Hell, is one of my favorite extreme metal vocalists. Period.
That guy is not human.
Right.
That's how great he is.
Their drummer's one of the best, and they
highs and lows, super impressive.
Yeah.
Everything impressive.
My favorite death grind band, Full of Hell, and yeah, they have was post-hardcore nuances and influences. They have noise that they're incorporating more into their sound.
But I actually really surprised me how much I love those noise tracks.
It works. They work.
There's a lot going on in the background of those. Beautiful piece of art.
Yep. Yeah. Cool choice, Full of Hell.
11 out of 10.
Garden of Burning Apparitions. Number 17 according to Decibel. And for me, higher up than that. Moving right along, 16, we have Cerebral Rot with Excretion of Mortality. Yeah,
what a band.
Yeah, awesome band. They're one of my favorite of the new wave of, American old school death metal acts. Death Doom, for sure. Doing like early incantation worship. Love the guitar work.
But like, cooler.
Well, I mean, let's slow down. Let's slow our roll.
Sorry.
Give them 20 more years and see if they can compete with Incantation catalog. But disgusting.
Yeah, I can. The eyeballs have been staring at me for a while through these videos, and they're just a little.
Yep.
I can listen to it. I don't want to look at it.
Cerebral Rot. So I have them. I have this album. Let me get over here by the mic. I have this album as number 23 out of 40. 16's
I
great.
like them a lot.
I like them a lot too.
They sit really well on the ears.
Yeah.
His vocals are just.
They match. They fit the music. The aesthetic. I like their aesthetic a lot.
Yeah.
It's super gross.
But different than Cannibal Corpse.
Right.
Because maybe the doom kind of stuff brings it down a little bit more to Oh, but
And it's
I like
just
my metal.
it's like slimy and filthy and disgusting, and yeah, cool.
For sure.
Yeah, so we knew a lot of these.
Yeah,
We
this was a
knew
good
we
page,
knew three
actually.
out. Yeah, so yeah, out of the five, I've listened to four of these albums in their entirety, and three of them are in my top 40 albums of the year. Number 16, Cerebral Rot, Excretion of Mortality. All right, you saw it?
Yeah, ready?
Yeah, number 15,
Amen Ra.
Amun Ra
Also a favorite of both
with
of us.
Daydorn. So I actually first heard of Amun Ra when I heard this year when I heard the track. I can't really say that. I'll probably butcher it if I try to say it. But
Number 2.
number 2, One Day Dawn. And then I was obsessed and I wanted to go through their entire catalog, and I have, and I love all of what Amun Ra. I love everything about Amun Ra. This is like post Doom, but hardcore influences, mathcore influences. But I would still, it's mostly Doom metal to me.
Atmospheric, for sure.
And it's even a bit riffy for Doom, which it's fun, even though the subject material is serious and dark. Like I have fun when I listen to Amun Ra.
Super cathartic.
Very cathartic.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is also very high on my list, higher than Decibels. But yeah, Amun Ra, Daydorn, check them out. Awesome vocalist. He just sounds like he's an absolute pain, but he must purge what he's feeling, and
when they have a whole artist collective that travels with them, like a ton of content online to sort through if you are interested in their music. There's just a lot of other like art going on around them, which was really awesome to watch. One of their documentaries.
Yep,
for sure.
That's cool. Yeah, Amun Ra is great. Cool band. All right,
Ready?
Moving right along. Number 14 is
Lingua Ignota.
Here we go, Lingua Ignota.
Get ready.
So, yeah, if it wasn't clear, I pulled out some vinyl that we own just because I anticipated that some of these would probably be on the list. And yeah, Lingua Ignota. We haven't been saying the label names this time around, but Amun Ra was on Relapse. Sinner Get Ready is on Sergeant House.
Couple of Sergeant House.
The event.
On the 40 list.
I remember the first time I heard it. I wish I knew her real name right now, but that's fine. I forgot it. First time I heard a Lingua Ignota song, I just remember it, where I was and how it made me feel, and I was like, this person's awesome.
Godly. Blow you away.
Yeah, beautiful voice. I don't know how to describe the music other than it's also just an artistic amalgamation of like folk instrumentation.
Classical.
That's a good word.
Classically trained in voice and music.
She plays a lot of unique instruments, not often heard in extreme music on this album and last album.
And if you're a fan of Chelsea Wolfe or Emma Ruth Rundle, you most likely love this album.
Yeah. So yeah, not a metal album,
but heavy.
But heavy and yeah.
Every way.
Redefining what heavy means. She belongs here.
She belongs here, definitely.
Yeah, and yeah, I feel like I'm grateful for her music and for her as a person, and yeah, she's awesome. I
feel like having Lingua Ignota and Amun Ra together are like both very cathartic bands. As I used that word earlier. That's like a pair.
That's awesome.
Get ready to be emotional if you listen to those two back to back. Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Ready?
Yeah. Moving right along, number 13.
The Silver.
with Ward of Roses. I've listened to this album. You've listened to
A couple of
a couple of
songs.
songs.
Yeah.
Okay. This is out on Gilead Media.
I was kind of the first little bit that we listened to. What did we listen to? Fallow. A song called Fallow. Um, there was like a few filler parts, and then but I wrote down in my notes that this is music I would want to make. There's
Interesting.
parts that are a little death heavy, and I definitely liked it more as we listened to it more.
Yeah, you.
I think that first track that we listened to, there was like I don't don't just talk over a track that you make. I think it adds very little to music. And I think that maybe just turned me off at first, but then like I said, as we listen to more, yeah, just kind of like a little doomy, right?
It's like it's like post. It's like a type of post black metal.
Post black metal. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say you
That's
would.
where
I think
that makes sense.
I think you would like it more than me. I gave it a listen.
They're on my definitely going to check out a little bit more.
Yeah. So I actually, yeah, I'm not a huge fan of this album, but number 13 is The Silver with Ward of Roses.
I'd give it another shot.
Cool.
Ready?
Yep. Number 12 is Skepticism with Companion, put out on Swart Records. I've only recently saw this album cover on Twitter, and it reminds me of Typo Negative album cover, but this is one that I would say I have barely heard
I've
of.
never heard of. I haven't even. Yeah, I haven't
Yeah.
even ever seen the
So-
name before.
We're gonna go check out Skepticism and see if we should be skeptical of them or not. So we just listened to the opening track, Kala, from the album Companion by apparently the Finnish Funeral Doom pioneers, Skepticism. Your thoughts on the song, Natalie?
Well, the Decibel write up made it seem super epic. They literally use that word. I don't know, hype me up a little bit more than this first track. A little disappointing, I think. I don't like the synthy cinematic backing track, which is hilarious because I literally listen to new wave all the time. I love synth. I don't like this. I think it hides that for like in the middle of that Kala song there's like a little bit of like a guitar rhythm going on, and I think the synth is a little bit too high and forward, and it hides that cool guitar that could be going on, creating the ambience. Anyway.
I didn't like it very much, but for some reason I want to hear more of it.
I would listen to more because supposedly there's like some cool strings that come on later.
According to the write-up.
And I would at least listen to that last song.
That's not usually how I feel. Like, I literally didn't like that much, but I want to hear more of this album, I think.
Vocals were kind of in the middle to me.
They kind of remind me of Paradise Lost and this band called Slumber. But it was a bit faster than Funeral Doom usually, in my opinion.
That's where the cinematic part, I think, comes in for me. It's kind of like driving a story along a little bit. If it had been more like actual instruments, I think they would, and not keys.
It might be, though.
I think it would, if they do that, I think they would borderline on more of the medievally kind of sounds, though, that I also don't quite like. So, treading uncertain waters with this band.
But yeah, if anybody likes Finnish Funeral Doom, check out Skepticism.
Let us know why you like them.
Yeah, let us know in the comments why we should,
Or like what songs we should check
if
out
we should
instead.
keep checking out Skepticism, because this write-up is very
I feel like they've
glowing.
been around for a long time too.
Right,
Maybe that's what
91 or something it said.
Maybe 30 years.
All right.
They've been making music longer than I've been alive.
Yep.
So who am I to say?
Yeah, exactly. Number 11 is.
Ba-ba-ba.
You gonna read it?
Fucked Up. Year of the Horse.
Okay. So
They've been around a while too. Right?
yeah, I own a Fucked Up album. I think it was called Year of the Rabbit.
Oh,
Yeah,
the theme.
I like Fucked Up. I've never listened to this album. It's out on Tank Crimes, which is the label that puts out Necrot.
I don't think I've heard anything.
So, I never heard a song off this album, so we have to go listen to some Fucked Up. Let's see how fucked up it is. 1 second. So we just listened to track 1, or actually Act 1, on the album Year of the Horse by Fucked Up. And the track was 19 minutes and 19 seconds. And we listened to the whole track. And here are our thoughts. Go ahead.
Parts were good.
Oh, so I guess I'll go.
Kudos to Decibel for like. I didn't expect anything like this on like I said I don't.
I did.
You read this magazine, I don't.
Right.
I will listen to them more. I don't know. You probably have more to say about it.
No, I just
cool like hardcore parts and punk rock parts and.
So Fucked Up is a Canadian hardcore punk band that writes avant-garde, weird, kind of nerdy hardcore punk. And I wrote, this band makes music that makes me feel stupid. Because,
that's what I'm feeling.
but not even though I called it avant-garde, not that it's like over my head stupid, but I'm like, I don't know. It's sort of like how I like to read nonfiction, but not novels that much. Mm-hmm. It's like, I know this is good. I know this is really good. But, yeah. I like the hardcore punk parts a lot.
They remind me of fellow Canadians, a Silver Mount Zion. I think they're now called the Silver Mount Zion Memorial Orchestra. But like a hardcore flash punk version of that band. And if you know them at all, hello.
Right. Yeah, I have to be in the mood to put on this band, and like I have to be like working on something and having it on and kind of like taking it in that way. I probably wouldn't put it on very much to like, I don't know, like.
I think it had to be more invested in it, and also this is album of a series of Zodiac.
Yeah, Zodiac series.
So that's
there's tons of people on it. There's multiple vocalists. There's a cello. There's synth and piano. There's violin and trumpets. So pretty. What was that big outfit that had St. Vincent in it back in the day? Can't remember.
I can't remember.
All right.
Just lots of stuff there.
Yeah.
There's probably something that you'll dig in it.
Yeah, check out Fucked Up. Okay. So now we've made it to the top 10. We've made it to the top 10 Decibel's top 40 albums of 2021. And yeah, let's do it.
Number 10.
Number 10.
Walls in the Throne Room.
With
Primordial Arcana.
Yep. So I've listened to I've listened to this entire album.
They're very popular.
Very popular, American black metal band, post-metal maybe, or post-black metal now maybe even. They like the atmosphere. They like the synths. I don't like this album very much.
I don't either, and it's strange, like everything that you just said would make it seem that I would absolutely love this.
Maybe.
And I don't.
Yeah.
It just kind of falls a little same.
I think every so they have this melodic riff that carries the entire first track.
Change.
That's a strong melodic riff that every other riff or every other melody that they bring throughout the entire album sounds like a cheap version of that first melodic riff, and it just sounds redundant and repetitive. And I know Necrotic Nick had this one like very high on his albums of the year. I like every other Wolves in the Throne Room album better than this album. So I have heard them all.
I just didn't think it was that interesting.
I was just deeply underwhelmed.
Yeah.
I like when they got more like
Another hyped up. For me, it was super hyped up.
Yeah.
Heard about them a lot, which is funny for me to hear.
I like when they kicked up the energy, but that part never lasted long enough.
Yeah.
And yeah.
There was one kind of melody riff that we did like.
groove.
We thought it should like
Groovy.
hit you a little bit harder, and it just kind of doesn't. And not in the way that like atmospheric kind of stuff maybe doesn't hit you at some point. Like
Right. And I'm gonna be nitpicky about I think the drums, the mix, the drum production, the mix, however you want to put it, sounds very digital. It's all digital at this point, I know, but I mean like for the aesthetic that they're going for, the drums don't really fit in for me. They sound very triggered almost. Highly produced drums in a band that tries to have this like
that's part of it, for sure.
more natural sounding aesthetic. Yeah, this album, yeah, to be frank, I just didn't like it very much at all. Decibel has it at number 10. Wolves in the Throne Room, Primordial Arcana, out on Relapse Records.
Good for them.
Good for them.
Moving on.
Number 9 is
Iron Maiden.
Iron Maiden with Senjutsu, out on BMG Sanctuary Records.
We're giving them a chance.
I've listened to a few tracks off this album, maybe 3 or 4 out of however many, 8 or 9. Yeah, so I'm more of a Black Sabbath fan when it comes to like older
Me too.
heavy metal.
Downright.
Judas Priest as well.
I've seen Black
I
Sabbath.
would just say that I'm not really qualified to speak about Iron Maiden. It's not my style of metal that I know a lot about anyway. They've been around forever.
If someone was like, "Here's some Iron Maiden tickets," I would maybe go.
I'll just comment on I'll just comment on the fact that Decibel chose it at number 9. I think I'm kind of surprised based on every other pick, based on previous year's list, and just based on that this album has been divisive throughout this year. A lot of people don't like it, and yeah, Iron Maiden number 9, Decibel's top 40 of 2021.
I did write in my notes about this album that Bruce Dickinson tends to sound like a better Axl Rose.
Okay.
Anything else? Iron Maiden? Okay, number 8.
Number 8
Sorry, I didn't see it.
is Lamp of Murmur with Submission and Slavery, a self-released album. So I only know Lamp of Murmur because Melanie loves death metal, likes Lamp of Murmur. She says all of their releases are awesome. All of his releases are awesome. So I'm excited to check out Lamp of Murmur. I think it's going to be like raw black metal. Never heard of Lamp of Murmur. Let's check them out. We're back and we listened to Dominatrix Call by Lamp of Murmur. What'd you think, Natalie?
I don't know.
Kind of try to describe what it sounds like. A combination of styles, right?
It's like, on one hand, Friday I'm in Love is playing, and then there's like thrashy, really low in the mix, black metal vocals. I don't know.
Yeah.
It sounds like you're listening to a tape that you like recorded
Depeche Mode.
But like more like kind of Robert Smith kind of dark wave.
Right. But
And it sounds like it has a wompiness, like a tape that's gotten bad.
yeah,
Um, but people like this lo-fi stuff. I mean,
I actually thought it would be low. I don't think this is that lo-fi to be.
no, not that lo-fi, but it's more than I tend to listen to.
Right.
Even for stuff that's 40 years old now. This is brand new, so
Right.
I got nothing else.
Right. I think it might be a band that if you're trying to get into black metal, you actually might like this due to the parts that are more new wave or dark wave, and
Yeah, especially if you already like those bands.
if you like that stuff a
Yeah.
lot,
For sure.
you might like this. This might help you get into black metal. That's how I would put it. Yeah, I don't have anything else to say. Would I check out this? Would I keep check? I personally would not. I'm not that interested in checking out more of Lamp of Murmur based on what we listened to.
I'd be interested to see if other albums that they have sound similar to this one.
Right. I think it might be one guy. I'm actually not sure
Okay.
though.
Well, if it is, kudos to him. It's
Yeah.
cool.
I know a lot of people like it. It's number 8, Lamp of Murmur with Submission and Slavery, and now we are at number 7.
Ready?
Yep,
Bum, bum, bum.
it is Converge and Chelsea Wolfe with Blood Moon
And Stephen Brodsky.
1. Thank you, and Stephen Brodsky. Never mentioned.
And Ben Chisholm,
And Ben Chisholm.
which is Chelsea Wolfe's right-hand man.
Yeah, number 7, Converge, Blood Moon. So Converge is one of my favorite bands, and Chelsea Wolfe is one of your favorite artists.
Now they're both some of my
True.
favorite bands, but definitely I knew Chelsea Wolfe way more before this year
Right.
than Converge. But awesome.
Yeah, so this album is in my top 40 albums of the year. It's quite high, and it's like Converge wrote a doom metal album. So yeah, it can be quite tricky to think of it as a Converge album, even though there are parts that sound like Converge. But it definitely is cool that it doesn't sound like even just Converge plus Chelsea Wolfe, like in like a generic.
Yeah, because
sense.
anybody could have had her sing over some tracks, and that would have sounded awesome as it was. But we could tell that they really all like wrote this together.
Right. Yeah, it sounds like its own project.
And it took me like a second listen. I think on your second listen, which
My
was
second
my
listen, it
first,
really clicked.
I think you were definitely like way more on board than I was my first listen. But as it went along, I mean, of course, like
Yeah. It's high on my list, but it just came out recently.
yeah.
But I haven't revisited it that often after I first played it 4 or 5 times that first week.
I've gone back to it.
I still have it high on my list, but I need to listen to it more, and maybe it'll go up, maybe it'll go down actually. But I think it's pretty flawless. Like I'm remembering now. Like I think this album is awesome.
And the themes on it are just, classic Converge and Chelsea Wolfe.
Yeah,
Like,
the lyrics are awesome.
so great. The song Quill is amazing. It makes you feel what they're talking about.
Yeah, very emotional, cathartic as well.
Visceral feeling is, I think, a word that I used when we first listened to it.
Yeah.
Some of them might take a little bit to get into, but yeah. I like Jacob Bannon's on that first, I think it's on the first track. I wish he would have had more vocals like that throughout the album.
Yeah.
I think I was getting a little... didn't really know who Stephen Brodsky was before I listened to this one, and I think we figured out that he has more on it than
he
other
does
things.
he does a lot of the clean vocals.
And
Brodsky.
that's one thing I could say about it. Give me more Jacob.
Yeah, I want more Jacob Bannon on this album.
More Jacob.
I think he's there more than even.
No, I
You can
know.
remember
I remember that he's there. I don't know.
Yeah, but
Love it though.
yeah. The album's Converge Blood Moon 1 is awesome. it deserves the spot at number 7.
Yeah.
And yeah, number 6. I'm actually, let's just pause for a moment. I think I know 2 more releases that are going to be on here based on the cover, based on the cover of this
Oh,
of the
of the
magazine.
magazine.
Yeah, but I'm pretty. I am. So there's. I'm kind of lost at who's going to be on this. Who's going to be in the top 5?
Right.
We still haven't seen number 6 yet. But speaking of number 6,
Ready?
yep, number 6
Ding, ding, ding.
is interesting. Is Hooded Menace with the Tritonus Bell out on Season of Mist. I've listened to this album. I don't think you've ever heard this band, from my knowledge. I've never showed you this
Are they
band.
someone that I feel like I've heard the name once.
Yeah,
Maybe in another video.
yeah, we can talk about that if you want to go listen to a song first.
Yes, please.
Okay, so we're gonna go listen to a track off of The Tritonus Bell by Hooded Menace. Alright, we just listened to Chime Diabolicus by Hooded Menace off The Tritonus Bell. So I'll go first.
Please.
I listened to this album earlier in the year. I listened to all of their albums. Might be controversial opinion, but well, I'll just so first controversial opinion is this is like my least favorite Death Doom album that I've heard that has come out in 2021. And overall, I like plenty of other Death Doom bands more than Hooded Menace, and I know Hooded Menace is considered many people's favorite Death Doom. Give me Temple of Void. I'll just stop there. Give me Temple of Void all day long. Give me Solothus. I guess I didn't stop there. Yeah, so what was your feelings on Hooded Menace?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Sure, the guitar tone is cool. I can even, when he's shredding, just in general, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't like the drums. They didn't really add much.
I didn't even
to me.
remember the drums.
Exactly. I don't know.
I always
I
remember
have
the
no-
drums. I don't recall hearing drums.
I like good drums, and there's a ton of good drums out there. This was just kind of whatever.
Yeah, and it's as everybody knows who has heard the album, it's less Death Doom, more like just heavy metal with death metal, kind of Death Doom vocals on top of it.
Tell me why it's number 6.
Yeah, tell us
like
in
it.
the comments. Tell us why this album is number 6.
Or something to listen to maybe convince us.
Yeah, but no, I will not revisit the Tritonus Bell. Cool. All right, we are in the top 5 Decibel, top 5 albums.
I was
2021.
gonna go page by page. Ready?
Yep. Okay.
Panopticon.
Number 5 is Panopticon with And Again Into the Light. I've listened to this album a couple of times.
I have a little bit, right?
You've listened to at least one song, right?
Yeah. I don't really remember.
So I'll just say, because I've heard the whole album, like, there's the first song is like a 3 or 4 minute or like orchestral instrumental with folk metal influences, but this is like an atmospheric black metal band that even has like at the heaviest times they sound almost like death metal, like even like ulcerate type heavy. But yeah, people really love this album. I mean, it's number 5 and according to Decibel, and I didn't necessarily love it myself.
I didn't write down anything special about it, so I must not have really cared for it.
For you, I would say you might. No, I think I would be someone on paper. I would like this more than you. Anyway, just on paper, but I still. It's like an hour long. I still would. I would say it's hard to comment on if you've only heard one song.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's the whole point of the video, isn't it? But for those of the albums that we haven't heard, but yeah, Panopticon, and Again Into the Light, at number 5.
Moving on.
Oh, there it is. Oh, wow. This is surprising to me. Number 4 is Apparition and their album Feel out on Profound Lore Records. I've heard this
I
album.
have not.
Let's go listen to
Cool.
Apparition.
Please.
All right. Okay, we just listened to track 1 off of Apparition's debut album called Unequilibrium. The song's called Unequilibrium. So I remember listening to this album earlier in the year when it came out. It didn't come out that earlier in the year, but like September, October. I like it. I put it on my runners up list. I haven't listened to it that much. I think this band's awesome though.
Feels compared to, I think, like this is gonna sound like nonsense, but like some of these other albums that we've only listened to a little bit, like compared to this, feels just so real.
It's
Like-
death metal.
Yeah, I know. It's the best.
It's more immediate. It is the best.
Sorry.
Death metal is the best. Yeah, this is a good. I like how the rhythms change subtly, and they have like interesting times. I
Goes
think
really well,
interesting
though.
time signatures.
Yeah.
There's parts that sound like death in the melodies a little bit,
Yeah, that's just
but yeah, Apparition is cool.
new spin on old school death metal.
Yes, surprised to see it on this list, but yeah, Apparition with Feel number 4, impressive.
I'm not like confused why this is on the list.
Not confused. I was just surprised.
Yeah, it makes sense. Like
I just wasn't recalling that this album. I wasn't thinking about this album, and yeah, good job, Apparition. Wait,
3 thumbs up.
yep. So we are top 3 albums of the year according to Decibel. Let's see, who number 3 is. Oh wow. Okay, so this is funny. So number 3 is Tribulation with Where the Gloom Becomes Sound out on Metal Blade Records. So
Did we listen to this together?
I'm gonna say this. This album first came out in like January, or when this album came out earlier in this year. I immediately loved it.
I don't like Tribulation.
Then I played it with you, and like I think the first few tracks, you were like, "This is good," and then something happened. You were realizing that you didn't like it as much.
Yeah.
I kept revisiting it, and then eventually I started to agree with Natalie that yeah, I still gave it like a pretty. No, you know what? I kept dropping the score down in the way that I have keep track of albums. So I could say I no longer really like this album. A lot of people like it, but I liked it a lot when I first heard it.
I never gave it a second shot
True.
because that's how much I didn't like it at first.
I
I want to like things.
I love the aesthetic. You didn't.
No.
Yeah. I
No,
like
I don't.
I like what this album's going for.
I don't care
Yeah.
about it.
But I definitely it really dropped pretty low on my list. It's not in my top 40. It's not in my runners up. I'm not surprised to see it on the list because it's on a lot of people's list. But yeah, I've listened to all of their albums. I think Tribulations is a solid band. Their earlier stuff's
I'd have to
awesome.
be reminded.
Their first
again
album's
about this album.
death metal.
Did
you
I
didn't-
listen to this song?
Yeah, you listened to this one. You
Okay.
didn't like that his vocals never ever changed. He just has like the same exact like mid tempo,
Monotonous.
kind of even speak scream
Oh, I don't like that.
type style.
Don't just speak.
But yeah, funny. Number 3 is Tribulation, Where the Gloom Becomes Sound.
Move on.
Yeah. Number 2 is
Chemist.
Chemists with their album Deceiver out on Nuclear Blast. I actually haven't
a
heard.
little bit.
No, I think I heard the
Haven't we?
first single that dropped. No,
Yeah.
I've never.
Oh,
Yeah, sorry. We've listened to Chemist before.
because they were on that live stream that one time. I thought we checked them out a little bit.
Yeah, we've listened to Chemist before. I listened to maybe one single off this album, but I want to go check out another track.
For sure. I
So
will,
cool.
definitely.
We will be back. All right, we are back, and we checked out A Vernal Gate, the opening track of Deceiver, and So, you want to go first?
Not really.
Okay, then I will.
Okay.
All right.
I got little to say about
So,
this.
in one song, here's what Chemist does. They give you heavy metal, they give you some doom, and then at the very end there, they give you like almost a little bit of black metal, a little bit of blackened vocals. But for the most part, there's this very forceful, melodic, clean
Clean
vocals. And I think a lot of people like Chemist because of everything I just said. Our our experience is a bit different, but again, I think they have parts, they have all those ingredients together. It is mixed well. There's nothing like that's very jarring.
No, but maybe that's my problem.
So
I think just there's people that do similar, like clean vocals and then some screams that just do it better. If you like this gentleman's, I mean, I would much rather just sit and always listen to Greg Puciato over cleans like Chemist does. I don't know, just not my favorite.
I also when I first noted, I was like, hey, that's metalcore. That first riff
Sure.
is Avenged Sevenfold. Just saying, if that's your thing. But yeah, number 2 was Chemist with Deceiver.
I would also listen to the band Dune over Chemist. They kind of reminded me a little bit about them.
Well,
I know that may not make sense, but
I will speak more about Dune in my top 40 albums of the year for sure.
I think they do some little bit similar stuff, and there's cleans all over that Dune album.
Yeah. I see what you mean by that, man.
Yeah.
Number 2
I was a little disappointed by that.
I always feel that way when I listen to this band.
That's how
Okay.
and I remember it. Anyway.
All right. Number 1, we think we know what it is actually because the cover of Decibel had a couple of names, as we mentioned in
Maybe they're trying to trick us.
part 1. So, number 1 album of the year according to Decibel is Carcass with Torn Arteries. And I did not grow up listening to Carcass.
I did not either.
They have
surprising.
They have legions of fans. They grindcore, gore grind. Then they had a melodic death metal stage. They have fantastic. The guitar player is awesome. I forgot his name right now. I'm actually not a Carcass fan. I haven't heard all of this album, and the reason is, it just didn't grab me the times that I tried to listen to it. It's that's what I'll say for now. Well, you've heard a couple songs, right?
Cool progressive guitar work that I can kind of get into. His vocals, not my favorite, but this last listen that we did, some cool, like drawn out growls that I think they could kind of use that more. I don't know. His lower register is better than just like, I don't know, didn't really do much. We just listened to that Eleanor Rigor Mortis track, and I think I would just maybe go back to listening to Sabbath or someone over this album.
I think I like the drummer. I like Daniel Wilding. He's a good drummer. I actually think the guitar player is really good too.
Yeah.
The parts are better than the sum.
Progressive metal.
See what I did there? Okay, that was our reaction to Decibel's top 40 albums of the year. I'll ask you this. Well, I'll say this first, I guess. We might come back and do another video, maybe even like a month down the road, who knows how long, where we discuss out of the albums that were new to us, which ones did we go back and listen, and which ones do we think, oh, these are really great. glad that we checked them out, and vice versa. But I don't know. Do you have any concluding thoughts? This is your first time seeing a decibel list. Do you have any concluding
This is
thoughts?
awesome.
Very fun.
It's neat because there's a lot of stuff that it's always cool to like walk. This happened to us a few months ago, like moving to a new town where we walked into a vinyl shop and literally like I didn't recognize hardly any vinyl album in that store, and that's kind of daunting, but it's super fun to find bands that other people are really passionate about, and just like I was just exposed to like so much more music. Um, so that's why I really liked this.
Yeah.
And also definitely found a few albums that I think are going to be heavy in my rotation and our rotation at home. Things that we'll listen together.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's already a long enough video, so.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, that's why I asked you for concluding thoughts. I'm saying I'm not going to say much other than what we already said. This was fun. For any of you who watched this and got to this point, thank you. You're awesome.
Do you agree with our list?
Yeah, and please,
We're
any
looking forward
comments?
to watching other people's
Yeah,
takes on this.
make a similar list of a best albums of 2021 that you react to in real time that you haven't read before or something. That'd be kind of fun. Cool. Thank you. Bye.